Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review with cat hair everywhere. Well, that's life with 3 cats, 2 dogs. There's a lot of fur, flying. I did my best to use a compressed air thing to whatever. It's here. You're gonna see it. The re- the reason this all started, this this quest to remove the cat hair, was because the Noble Audio Night, which obviously you know by now was the mystery set and is today's victim for review, comes with this really nice felt pouch. Not a case, but a felt pouch. And it's black, and it is an absolute lint magnet. So I literally just used a pet roller on this, and it already has cat hair on it. So, everywhere. Anyway, we'll soldier through it. Yes, so the night is up for discussion today, and this is absolutely my first Noble Audio product, and the only reason that it's in my possession is because it's not $4,000. So, for those of you who are familiar, then you know their IMs, and I think they have a set of headphones out too, are like multi-kilobuck sets for the most part. Let me bring their website up. You can look at the specs while we're at it. So, all right, so it's a 3-driver tribrid. You've got a 10mm dynamic driver, dual magnet, composite material. It doesn't really get into what, although I feel like somewhere I saw like aluminum magnesium, but don't quote me on that. Followed by, for the mid-range, a Sonian BA, which I believe is a Sonian 23 series BA. Again, don't quote me on that because it's not on their official website, but I believe I read that somewhere. And then piezoelectric for the super tweeter. So there you go. It's pretty it's not dissimilar to the Canera Hodor in that respect, except the Hodor replaces the piezo with an electrostatic driver. But yeah, kind of similar to that in its configuration anyway. And it is, God, like this machined aluminum that they use and the faceplate, like the combination of those two things, I'm not even going to bother with the light because it just reflects really badly. It feels freaking expensive. And I know that shouldn't count for much. And honestly, it doesn't count for much. But when you feel these, you're like, damn, that's nice. And equally as good in the ear once you get past a little insertion depth, which kind of took me a minute. We'll just put it that way. It took me a minute to get used to the length of that nozzle. It's a schnozzle. It's a nozzle, all right. Dang. It's not like Etymotic, not like an Eddy set, but dang, the nozzle's long. So just be prepared. And I finally, because of that, got over my weird thing with double flange, where I didn't want to ever use them because they freaked me out. Well, no problem. Stock tips, double flange. They worked for both ears. Didn't really have the option of switching sizes because the small was tiny. But yeah, so double flange on the ear tips from the stock ear tips, and that's what I ended up going with for fit and seal and sonics and all of that good stuff. So while we're at it, let's get the unboxing out of the way. Let's see, did they give me any other specs there? I feel like they did. Yeah, Sonian 23, there we go. Okay, all right, so that makes sense. Composite diaphragm, dual magnet driver, that's the DD. It doesn't tell me what it's made of, unfortunately, and there's the piezo. Okay, impedance here, 26 ohms, and I think the sensitivity is 102. Feels like it was like 102. I don't know why specs are so hard to find with this one, but anyway, we'll firm that up. Box is nice, of course. It's coming from Noble Audio, you'd expect it to be nice. So it's got that little, batwing door kind of thing happening. Whatever, cable management. There was some stock silicone ear tips on it. The stock silicone tip or stock tips in general are nice, but they're not anything like outstanding. some fairly like deep foams, which I did use for some of the measurements just to go stock. Couldn't use the cable because the cable is only in 4.4. Note to you, note to me, that's all you get. You get a 4.4 option. That's it. So be prepared for that. And if you are in 3.5 land, have a cable ready should you decide to get these guys. So yeah, some interesting ear tip options, some standard stuff, the foams, the double flange, and different sizes. But luckily for me, the large double flange were just about perfect for both ears. So, and this little shield case, like, I don't know, it's obviously 3D printed. I kind of wish this like were big enough to hold the IEMs, because I would have loved a shield case for the night IEMs. That would have been like, chef's kiss. That would have been the icing on the cake for this set. Anyway, there's what you get. That's what you get. And that's it. So yeah, the cable, guys. The cable, I went back and forth with the nuclear copper cable from IVIPQ, which I was able to get off of Amazon Vine for free. No, I did my review on that. That's right. Yeah, I just have to write a review for those things. But I ended up going back to stock because I just felt like it was probably there for a reason. So silver-plated copper, not Ted Koppel, silver-plated copper, can't say that, 8-strand with a 4.4 termination. And on the other end, to make cable swapping fairly easy, it is a flush 2-pin connection, which I am not going to take out because, it's not loose. I just don't want to make it loose. You know what I mean? Like, I did some swaps there with that cable, with the cable for the measurements, and I was just like, I don't want to loosen this connection up. I just don't. So, stock cable's on there. Stock cable's going to stay on there because the stock cable is absolutely great. Feels super high quality. Certainly, no issues with the sound. Like, it clear as a bell. Yeah, so good stock mode for this guy. Stock ear tips, stock cable, and the only thing that I attached to it that wasn't stock was, don't be mad at me, Noble. You shouldn't be. It's Let Shore. So yeah, I actually got an Artti cable recently. I've got a couple more coming because I'm gonna link those because they're $20 right now and they're awesome. They come with a case, so I was using that to protect the IMs in my travels. They did the mowing, they did the grocery shopping, they did the dishes, they did the laundry, they did the cat litter, the garbage, the recycling. Did I say vacuuming? Vacuuming. They did all the stuff with me, and the isolation is perfect. So you can still, like, when the music's not playing, you can hear some stuff happening around you. But once you got the music on and turned up a little bit, like, unless you listen to music really low volume, if you get turned up to like your normal listening level, you're gone. Gone. I'm telling you, just gone. This is such a cool set to like celebrate 2,000 subscribers. I still can't believe that we got here. This just like kind of blows me away. I had no idea when I started this channel in like October of 2023 that we would be getting to 2,000 subscribers. So once again, thank you, all of you, for the support and for like just, liking the content enough to like, my watch time's up like 7 or 8 minutes these days, that's huge. That's like y'all are actually watching the videos, at least a good portion of them. Yeah, it's just amazing to me. I am humbled by this experience. And, I'm not going to sound, this hopefully doesn't sound cocky or arrogant, but the next goal is 5,000, which I would love to be at or near round about this time next year. So the plans are obviously to keep going. Yeah, and maybe we'll do some refinement along the way. I finally put some text in my photo of the IM so you can see what is actually being reviewed in the thumbnail. So look forward to me playing around with fonts and stuff like that and color. Super exciting, I know. Next thing you know, I'll be creating memes. Yeah, no. So yeah, the night was. Let me tell you, like when I got them, my initial impression was studio monitor. That was like what I was like, studio. I'm like, this is for a musician in a studio. Like this is specifically. I wasn't thinking musical enjoyment or relaxation or any of that kind of stuff. Like right out of the gate, I was like, monitor. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing because the other stuff, the musical and the enjoyment and the naturalness and all that stuff eventually came in. But it did take an adjustment. It was like, think about this. I'm coming off the Kiwi Ears KE4, which is like warm, chocolatey goodness all over your ear holes, to something that is basically just crystal clear, concise, analytical, and just bang on. Like, so technically, like, just focused that it was an adjustment, I mean, I was going from a really, really good set to an even better set, but the tuning was completely different. So it did. It took me a minute, going back and forth, and then had the whole thing with the Yaksha, same thing, because I've had this for a couple, 3 weeks. So I've had the Yaksha in my ears, I've had the KE4 in my ears, I've had the messed up SL224 unit in my ears. Like, I've had different stuff going on during that time. Whenever I came back to this set, well, not whatever. Like the first couple of times I came back to it after listening to a different set, I was like, damn, like it was like, hello. But then after I got used to, knowing what to expect out of it, it was like I was looking forward to it. I'm like, I can't wait to get the night back in my ears. Like, I can't wait to get the night back in my ears. I want to hear what else it can do. Because these things are stunning. Stunning. Let's put it in. So yeah, cat's out of the bag there. These are in the top 5, and they just slid right in there. They kind of like I've rehashed that top 5 so many times now I can't even. But here it is as of right now. Okay, and this is before the Meyer Audio Slevo SL224 has had its full, analysis and listening time and all that kind of stuff. So this could change again. But for right now, it is no particular order because I refuse to pick a number one. Depends on my mood and what I'm listening to. You've got the BV, GP, DMA. You've got the Canera Hodor. You've got the Pen and Fan 3. You've got the Zen's Mangard T Pro. And now the Noble Audio Night. And that's the top 5. And that is a damn solid top 5 as far as I'm concerned. Like, I think there's something in there for everybody. They're all for me. My top 5 is not everybody's top 5. I get that. It's fine. But for me, those are the 5 sets that are just brain melting, crazy, freaking, like, never want to take them out of your ears kind of good. So, for what it's worth, there it is. Let's bring up the graphs so you guys can see what I'm talking about here a little bit. Some important things to start out by saying. Okay, first of all, anyone who is a little bit scared of the mountain peaks at like 2.5 and 5K, just take it out of your head. Pretend this is just like just sort of cut like. I don't know how to, like that one time that I got a Christmas tree that was too tall for my living room and had to cut the top off of it. This peak does not sound like this peak. I'll give the ear gain, like, yeah, okay, I can hear that. But for whatever reason, and I think it's the same, it's like the tangentium origin phenomenon, where if you're gonna go with this kind of tuning, then you better have the drivers to back it up. And this has the drivers to back it up. So, first and foremost, don't be scared of the 5K peak. It is not like any kind of fatiguing. It is not jabbing or whatever. It's just there. It's there for you to hear more. It's there to create a sense of space. It's there to create separation. It's there for laser precise imaging. It's there for all the reasons that it should be there, and it is not in any way gonna bug you, unless that's your sore spot, and anything like any driver that is hitting that there is going to bother you, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry if that's the case. But other than that, I think everybody else, you'll hear it for what it is: super clean, precise, laser focused imaging, and just really good energy in that mid treble. The other thing to talk about, back down at the bottom here, is the bass. I am going to paraphrase, because I can't quote, because I'm not even going to try. Tone Deaf Monk, paraphrasing what he has had to say about the bass on this set. And you should go check his review, and I'll link his channel in the description, because he's my brother from another country. The bass on this, to me, treble is second, like as the very strong point of this. Bass is first. I have not heard bass presented in this way before. And you're looking at it and you're like, oh, that kind of looks like a headphone curve, you know? That like it looks like an over-ear headphone, like it's very flat. This thing hits you like a freight train. I mean, I'm a very well controlled freight train. But if you're like worried about there being a lack of bass impact or response or presence, don't. Because when I graphed this, I was like shocked. I was like, no. I expected it to be up here, like a big bass shelf, and then, you know, like a little drop off as you head into the low mids. This is crazy to me. That's nuts. That makes no sense. And yet there it is. And that's why it stays so controlled. It's detailed, it's controlled, it's impactful, it's sick. The bass on this set is fucking sick. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know. I was going to convince some of y'all, and some of y'all are going to be like, yeah, right. That's okay. I'm telling you, as a quasi bass head, I couldn't find anything lacking on this. Little tiny trail off in the super low sub bass, but it was still there. The mid bass is just so sweet. And then the mids are warm and natural and clear, and just like it's all there. It's all there. Even this little tuck here in the ear gain just makes it like, you know, not shouty. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, okay. I don't know, guys. It's darn close to a perfect set for me. You know, I think that, and I'm not comping it with anything else. It's in my top 5. Quality-wise, it's on the level with Hodor, with the DMA, with the Fan 3, with the T Pro. Okay, it's its own thing. It's its own tuning. It does sound a bit like a monitor in the sense that you're just getting super clear everything. And I'm not Blair, you're not allowed to borrow these because I'll never get them back from you. He's my guitar playing friend. Just kidding. You'll get a chance to try them in like a year. I don't know. I feel blessed to be in this hobby and be able to experience a set like this and have it not be $1,000. Okay, let's just real quick, and we're gonna wrap it up because I mean, I could go on and on this set and how freaking amazing it is. I could go on for probably another half hour, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Yeah, go to Noble Audio and take a look at what they have. Right, they do wireless. Apparently, some of the best TWS earphones you can get your hands on. But their wired sets, really what they're known for. And you've got the Viking Ragnar in a universal, $4,000. Jade, $1,200. There's the Knight for $289. Stage 3, $600. Van Gogh, modeled after Starry Night. I wish I could. Anyway, that's a dream right now. I did reach out to Noble, and they directed me to their marketing company, and I haven't heard back. So I know we're very amazing, dedicated 2,000 of us that there are right now. I don't think it's going to be enough to get anything from Noble. I told him I'd send anything back too. Like, I don't need to keep any of this stuff. Nothing yet. Khan is $2,400. Ronin $3,900. Aegis 2, 1800. Shogun, 3900. Stage 3 Fire and Ice, that looks pretty nice too. Onyx, 3200. Spartacus, 1800. Cadence, 1600. These guys don't fuck around. Okay? I am very happy that, and believe me, I know, $300 is still a big ask for a lot of people, but I'm really happy that they decided to do this, because I think that this is what they call their house sound in the night, is basically like, that's what they call their house sound. If it gets better from here, oh my god. Stop. I don't know. I can't see myself ever spending over $1,000 on a set. But then again, I can't really afford to spend over $1,000 on a set and continue to operate this channel. Like, I would have to take like a 3-month break, which would not be good. So anyway, for now, dare to dream. Grab the Night. I will include this Google search, the search results, so you can see where you can get it from. Personally, got mine from Music Tech. But they're on Audio 46. They're at Bloom, maybe a couple other places, and currently I think they are available here on their actual website, because for a while they were sold out. That was the other thing that kind of like, it was kind of like a good like clue where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing. Like, these were sold out on a bunch of websites. They've been out since January, but they sold out like in less than half a year. That means people are liking them, I'm guessing. So, there we are. Happy 2000. Happy Noble Audio Night. Highly recommended. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking them up. And that's going to do it for today. The week of Sellies will continue. So, I think we've got an Apple iPod with the legendary Wolfson DAC chip in it. I think that's going to be provided by Dr. Dan at some point. Maybe not this week, but soon. I'm sure we'll have another giveaway happening. Congratulations again to Tonkytronicus for correctly naming the Noble Audio Night in the Mystery Set competition. Waiting to hear from you, bud, to see which one of those 4 sets I listed you're interested in. Next up, it's going to be Meyer Audio Slevo SL224. And if I can get off my butt, no, it needs time. That's not going to be till Monday. But I should see you again in a couple of days for another celebration video. So, for now, be careful, be safe, be nice. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. We'll see you.